All right, y'all. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for tuning in. I've got Carissa Riz Nepia with me. She is all the way from Australia. She is a Kiwi rebel mom.
New Zealand?
Oh, shoot.
New Zealand?
All right. Well, New Zealand. I just learned something else. So she's been in this business that I've been talking about for a couple of years, and she has been making some huge changes in her own life. And we're going to be talking about the masterclass that's coming up on the 15th, 16th, and 17th at in the evening, Eastern Standard Time. So, Miss Carissa, tell me what caused you to jump into this, and what changes have you had in your life over the last couple of years?
Oh, that's a loaded question, isn't it? Yeah, well, I think I had a stint. I was in real estate prior to finding my way in the digital space. I had a little bit of a stint prior to real estate in network marketing as a manager, and I had a team and the company car and all the holidays and all that sort of thing. And my lesson through that was that I learned it wasn't for me. At the end of the day, that type of business model didn't build me any sort of legacy that I got to have. So I've been a little bit of a serial entrepreneur. I've got a very, very colourful background, including flight attending and communications, corporate world, all of that stuff. Okay. And I think through everything that I did, especially as a young mum, I really felt like I was never being fully myself, and I actually didn't feel like I ever knew who I was anymore. Like everything changed. Everything changed for me when I became a mum, and then you try to fit into these idealistic molds, and I was like, these just don't work for me. And so, as you can see now, like I talk about being a rebel entrepreneur, which I've shortened to rebelpreneur, because I do everything really, really different from everyone else. So it's taken me a long time to get there. So I think that's probably the biggest vital thing that I recognised, and that's what made me dive all in. I was like, I need to learn who I am again, and I need to honour what it is that makes me tick, what makes me happy, and what's going to set me up for my future. Like, I was not living the way that I had always envisioned it. Like, I envisioned never having any limitations and not having any sort of financial or time limitations, and that was exactly how we were living, paycheck to paycheck with nothing.
It works. So yeah, that
was my my biggest reason for jumping in back then. Absolutely. Yeah, and then the last 2 years and in this space, you just evolve at, when you're in here and you're learning constantly and you're surrounded by other people that are doing similar things, not all the same, but similar. It's very addictive, because you're like, oh my God, I just get to keep up leveling, and you think that you're where you want to be personally, and then you're like, oh my God, I want to do this, I want to take this on, oh yeah, this is cool. So it's always just a growth edge, isn't it? Like, everything that we go through is all growing and bettering ourselves, up leveling.
Well, that's what I love about this business, is the more I work on myself, the more I get to work on my business. So it's kind of a dual, they work very well together.
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah,
so
sure.
We've got this masterclass coming up, and I know that for day one, we're talking about vision and how to create, what does your dream lifestyle look like? Have you ever done that sort of exercise?
Absolutely. I don't think anyone would be I don't think any entrepreneur, full stop, would not have a vision and not do these exercises to connect to it. But again, I think that is the missing part to so many stories, and the reason why they're so stuck. Like, you get stuck in your either being the idealistic mum, or stuck in being 9-to-5 jobs or some sort of work, and you feel like you just have nowhere else to go, because you're lacking vision, you're lacking that connection with self, that embodiment of actually, what is it that I want, what is my next step, or if I was talking about my dream life, what is that? So I think day one is really, really vital. We've set it up in a way that it's going to take people through the baby steps to make sure that they're connecting to their own vision, and they actually learn what that is. Well, maybe let's actually call it extracting, because you're extracting the vision that's already there. Like, it's internal, it's there for one, but we've just forgotten what it is.
Very true. And also the baby steps is what helps you start taking those giant steps. Because if you've never done it, then how the heck do you even know where to start? So yeah. I hear ya.
And I think that's the important part here is that, you know, a masterclass like this, when you have such amazing entrepreneurs and leadership coming together to offer something like this, they collaborate in a way that they're like, right, we included this is important, we're going to start here and we're going to move through it, and it's all in stages, so nobody has to think about it. It's just something that you get to jump into, you check it out, you internalize a lot, and you think, how does this make me feel? Am I enjoying this? Does it buzz me out? Does it make me feel happy? And then you move on to the next steps, you actually don't have to have much of a thought pattern other than your intuition right the way through,
Very true. Very true. All right. So I know day 2 is the 4 pillars to freedom. As you know, there's a lot of things that, like what is rich? What is freedom? It's such a big definition that can cover so many different levels of life. What would you say is your, 4 pillars to financial freedom, or freedom in general? Let me not put a terminology to it.
Yeah, well, I think the covering off the 4 pillars of freedom is obviously financial is a massive one. Okay, people say that money doesn't buy you happiness. However, come on, like if we are really poor, what good can we do in the world? How are we going to live to our fullest potential? How are we going to help others? How are we going to lead others to finding what makes them happy? It's really hard thing to do. And I think that's quite a controversial conversation to have. I was even speaking to a client of mine yesterday who was talking about the fact that money is not important. However, the fact that you don't have any money is important, because then you can't do any good, So it's something that we can go very deep into it. And then obviously the other one for me that's big, and there's obviously the four pillars of freedom, but I think time, and also that personal freedom, knowing that you're doing right for you, knowing and feeling like you are fulfilling your own dreams, and you're not actually working towards just somebody else's or this idealism. So yeah, those are my big ones for sure. And time's massive as a mum and family. I want to be able to have the time to do the things with my kids. Like tomorrow, my 6-year-old's class is going up skiing, and we live near a ski resort. So I get to say, yeah, I'm going up skiing, and I can be at all of those events. I'm always the one there on the sidelines cheering them on and doing all the mumsy stuff. And I don't have to rush off to get back to the office or ask permission to go and watch my kids do that. So yeah, I think that's a huge value of mine.
I would agree. Time freedom is so important. You posted something on your Facebook page about if you could have any of your old traits, how as we grow, we become we upgrade ourselves. And what your post was, if you could have any of your old traits back, what would it be? And it's like, wow, I used to work 100-hour weeks and made killer amazing money, but didn't like my life. And it's like, I would love to have that ability to go back to work the 100-hour weeks, but now I know what work-life balance is like. And I refuse to sacrifice spending time with my son and spending time with my partner and having a life other than money, 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 money. So I hear you on that one. And day three is about uncapped income and impact online. What impact have you seen with the people that have been following you on Facebook and on Instagram from your post? And have you seen any sort of changes in that?
And the people that are following me?
Yeah, have you been able to impact anyone? I'm going to guess you have.
Oh, damn, bloody hope so. Otherwise, I'm not doing my job very well. I think, when we're talking about impacting others and leadership, I think the vital thing here is that it's about impacting ourselves first and foremost. And when we're talking about leadership, it's about leading ourselves, ourselves on our own path, and then others naturally follow because they look at you and you're not motivating them because that's up to them, but you inspire them. They see those stories, and when they might not connect initially, however, there are always people watching, and having the right attitude and just following your dreams is infectious to other people. No one can argue with someone that's just going after their dreams and doing what's right for them. There's no right or wrong, literally nothing. So I'd like to think I impact a lot of people. Absolutely. I haven't kept a tally or counted.
I hear you. Okay. And what do you like best about working in this industry?
Yeah, for me, it's definitely been, I've done like the solo entrepreneur stuff, right? So I've had like an e-commerce store at the same time I was doing my network marketing management role. And I ended up selling that business because I kind of fell out of love with it. So I sold it, but I sold it for money, right? So like I built something up and I sold it. Whereas with my network marketing business, you're not able to sell it. It's not yours. It was just a job, right? So yeah, where was I going with that? Lost my train of thought.
Sorry. What do you like? What do you like best about this industry? About the Freedom Era? About
that's where I was going. Yeah, I was going in the direction of the people that I'm surrounded by. I've done the solo entrepreneur thing, right? And I think when you connect to other people in an industry, in a community like this, everyone's got something in common because we all use the same business model, because the business model is freaking genius. Exactly. There's a reason why there are so many entrepreneurs that have joined themselves into this, like plugged themselves into this business model, because it freaking works, right? They've tried everything before and this one works. So I think then being around other entrepreneurs who have so much experience and so many different things, that again just becomes this really expansive environment to be in, because there is always somebody to learn from, always. And there's no two that are the same. There's no two that are just doing one thing. There's a lot of variation.
But also to have amazing people to do it with, that you're not, again, the solo stuff. I was doing an online company and I just was so sick and tired of being alone. And then COVID happened. It's like, bloody hell, this is lonely. So it's wonderful to be able to connect with people from all over the world and, do these sort of calls and build each other up and share ideas. And then it's like, oh, I can try that. I could do this. I don't have to come up with all of it on my own. I love that part of it. So
yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Well, guess what, y'all? I found out, I remembered what time it was. It's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The 15th, 16th, and 17th, I'll be there learning some more. You can, in my opinion, you can never stop working on this stuff, because we're always changing too. The more we learn, the more we change, the more we want, and the more different things become important to us, and our, what our priorities really shift to. Do you have anything else you'd want to say?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd just like to leave everyone, like if you're watching this now and you're like, oh, I'm not sure, I don't know, this to be, like anyone that's kind of got those questions, or they're on the fence, or they're nervous about reaching out to get the link, there is absolutely nothing to lose. This is a free mastermind that's been put together by 6- and 7-figure entrepreneurs. And there's, just trust in your own intuition. Jump in and give it a go and be open to learning what's working now, what's not, and what's going to propel you forward. Because whether or not you choose to move forward with us, within this business model, there is going to be so much value had for you anyway, that you're going to learn more about yourself and then go, this is what I'm looking for. This is what makes me tick. I like this, or I don't like this, and it's just all about trusting that intuition and jumping in and going from there.
Well said. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, Carissa, for popping in here all the way from New Zealand. That's like the opposite side of the world. Nice talking to you, and thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
You too, babe. Thanks so much for having me.
All right. Take care of yourself.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.